In this video, we're still looking at angle relationships, but here we're going to focus on angle relationships within a triangle. The first is that the sum of the measures of your interior angles of any triangle is equal to 180 degrees. If you're given the measures of two angles of a triangle to be 33 degrees and 26 degrees, find the measure of the third angle. So if I were to add them all up, this should sum to 180 degrees. Now we can simplify before solving for x. 33 plus 26 is 59. And if I subtract 59 from both sides, we're going to get the measure of that third unknown angle to be 121 degrees. Now, some more just review classifying triangles by side and by angle. A triangle that has three equal sides is called an equilateral triangle. A triangle that has two equal side lengths is called an isosceles triangle. And a triangle that has no equal side lengths is called a scalene triangle. If we're classifying by angle, an acute angle has three angles that are less than 90 degrees. A right triangle has exactly one right angle, and an obtuse triangle has one angle that's greater than 90 degrees. And we're going to be working with all of these types of triangles throughout this course. We also have a theorem for the measure of an exterior angle of a triangle. So the measure of an exterior angle is equal to the sum of the two opposite interior angles. So we're going to use this theorem and this picture to solve for our unknown value of x. And then we're going to actually talk about how we know this to be true. So using the figure provided, here's our exterior angle. And these are the two interior angles that are opposite it. So what that means is that 7x minus 31 is equal to the sum of those two interior angles. So 2x plus 21 plus 8x minus 124. To solve for x, we're going to start cleaning up the right-hand side, making sure we bring down everything we haven't simplified. 2x plus 8x is 10x. And 21 minus 124 is minus 103. Now, when we're looking at an equation like this, just a quick review. One of the biggest hiccups for students is dealing with signs, so positive or negative, and in particular negatives. It's really easy to drop a negative. So I have always advised students when you have an equation that has variables and constants on both sides, start by working with the variable terms and move the variable terms in a way that you end up with a positive coefficient on x. So in this example, what I'm going to do is subtract 7x from both sides to start. (10x minus 7x is 3x. And all that I've done now is ensure that when I divide at the end to get x by itself, I'm dividing by a positive number. For whatever reason, in my 15, 16, 17 years, I don't know, long time I've been teaching, students make more mistakes when they divide by a negative than when they divide by a positive. Doesn't matter what that numerator value is. What happens is we lose the sign in the denominator. So now we're going to add 103, or sorry, 108. Oh, this should be 103, excuse me. Minus 103. So now we're going to add 103 to both sides. We get that x is equal to 24. Now, if I wanted to then find the measure of that exterior angle, be 7 times 24 minus 31. $137. Now, why does this work? Okay, so we're going to simplify this picture. So I'm going to draw a triangle and I've got some extensions and I'm just going to label my angles. So we're going to call this angle A, angle B, angle C, and angle D. Now, what do we know? We know that A plus B plus C is equal to 180 degrees. We also know that C plus D is equal to 180 degrees because these two angles make a straight angle. Now, using this second equation, we can solve for C or D, it doesn't really matter, but we're going to solve for C. C is equal to 180 degrees minus D. Now, if I take this and I substitute it back into that first fact that we know, we get A plus B plus, instead of C, we're going to put 180 minus D equals 180. And what we're going to do is we're going to solve this for D. So if I want to solve for D, I'm going to start by adding D to both sides. That gets a nice positive D, which is great because, again, dividing by that -1 coefficient can sometimes lead to issues with signs. So we have A plus B plus 180 equals D plus 180. Subtracting 180 from both sides, we get that A plus B is equal to D. So again, here's A, here's B, and there's our exterior angle D.